Welcome everybody to the Rally Cry podcast. My name is Angel.
My name is Tyler.
And you guys are here because you don't want to limit yourself. You're here because you want to learn, you want to grow, and we're going to talk about things that is important in our lives so that we could be the best version of ourselves, because yesterday was the old us and today is the new us, and the future is going to be a better us. And today we're going to be talking about building confidence in our self-esteem. And I just want to say, before we get into this episode, whatever podcast platform that you guys are on, make sure you guys give us a follow, and also follow us on Instagram at therallycry.podcast, because we be posting clips on there, and we're going to be posting posts. We're going to get into a lot of things, and I'm just letting you guys know I don't want you to miss out. So I'm letting you know you better go right now, because it's been, this is our 42nd episode? It's our 42nd episode. And I just gotta let you guys know, if you're listening right now, we're just getting started. I'm telling you right now, we have a lot of things that are coming our way, and I'm extremely excited for it. So, yeah. So about confidence, right? We're thinking about how do we build confidence, and we gotta first understand that having confidence is not something everybody has. It's not something that you're born with. You're not gonna come out the womb and just be like, I'm a confident baby. It's just not going to work that way. It's just not. So it's just a matter of you literally got to build it. And we have to understand that confidence is what's going to make us tackle these things, right? And that's why you're here. You want, I'm tired of certain things that are in my life and I want to change that. And you need a little bit of confidence in order to do that. And I just want to say that Forbes mentions that confidence is the outcome of a thought that we think and the actions that we take with those thoughts. And when we have this thought, a lot of times we just be like, just thinking about it, but we never execute that thought. It's just the same way where we have these wonderful ideas. Everybody have ideas, but are you going to execute that idea? What are you going to do with that idea? You said you wanted to go outside.
You gotta get out of your head. You
exactly.
gotta get out of your head, because all
literally,
what is it gonna do? It's gonna make you hesitant. It's gonna make you want to think about, I could do that, but then it's like, am I good enough for it? Why question it? You don't know if you don't try it. And hey, we know that there's those embarrassing moments, like when we see a movie and then somebody gets pants and then everybody sees their underwear and it's like you're wearing rubber ducks on your underwear. What they do? We all got some weird stuff that we're into, but regardless of what, why limit yourself by already canceling yourself out? You can't sell yourself short. And when you sell yourself short, you're proving to yourself that you're not worthy of that luxurious experience. You're not worthy of that luxurious time, which is going to cost you money. It's going to cost you knowledge. Going to cost you fulfillment. Because at the end of the day, when you love yourself and you have that confidence, love inspires it. And not only that, you believe it. Because like Angel says all the time, you got to believe to see it before you can see to believe. You can't picture something that you haven't done, because you could try to simulate as many obstacles or simulations that you can in your head. But what is that going to do unless you actually have that memory and experience? Like if I didn't have the memory of getting beaten by people in bowling, then I wouldn't have had the knowledge or the willpower to want to try to get better. So then that way nobody could beat me. So I have you gotta learn to lose first off.
It's a visualization process. Like you a lot of times people want to see first to then believe, and it's not that way. And so I love how when you was bringing up the fact of just showing up for yourself more so, and that's exactly what you got to do. And when you show up for yourself, you build that memory, like when you was at the bowling alley and then you showed up for yourself so you can try it out. I remember when we were first playing bowling, you wasn't as good, but as many times as you went, you was telling me you was getting a couple W's, and I'm like, oh, well, that's probably because you've been consistent with it. And so the only way we're gonna build confidence within ourselves is not always worry about what other people do, not worry about what other people think. Who cares about what people think? People always have something negative to say, and then people could have some positive things, and then take that into consideration. Take the positivity into consideration. All that negative talk, nah, we don't need that. We don't care about those kind of people. People that are negative, we don't need them. Those are the people that we don't want to surround ourselves with, because a negative look on things brings a negative outcome. So how am I going to know if someone is negative? Or how am I going to know if this is a person that I don't want to be around because of how they look at things? Well, first, We always say this all the time, and I want you to listen closely. If you're driving, if you're cleaning, stop what you're doing real quick. Well, if you're driving, you can't stop unless you're at a stop sign or a red light. Imagine this. So you gotta, to build confidence, you gotta break it down first. You gotta spot it. Oh, you heard that before, huh?
Yeah.
And so that means you gotta reflect. I said that multiple times on purpose because you got to keep reflecting on anything that comes in your life. Everything. You're talking about relationships and those experiences that come with it. The relationships even at your job. Anything that comes in your life. You got to reflect on what you could have done better. That's the only way you're going to build that confidence, because confidence is starting when things were bad and then being persistent on it and reflecting on how I can do better onto it. And now when it comes to next time, I'm confident that I can do better than what I did last time. So now that we spot it, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love how you bring that up, because it's the idea of how dare we or anybody try to take away the experience for ourselves when this world is exactly built, unfortunately, to break us down. We're going to keep on breaking down these personalities and these personas that we develop over time. So if we can't have a firm understanding and belief in our ability to do, then we can't do anything. We're only going to convince ourselves, like Angel was bringing up with negativity. If we're going to be realistic, we have to observe the good and the bad. And if we only observe the bad, then here we are only looking at the bad. And we don't even believe in good at this point. We just see that there's bad. And because we see that there's bad, now we have fear. Now we are scared of this. And like we said in our previous episodes, it's the idea of fear of commitment, fear of the goal, fear of the process. Like, we have so many things that we give ourselves to be scared of, and there's no need to.
Exactly. And you know what it is? This is where you were going to hear some people say, oh, I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. You're not being realistic. Realistic is able to see the negative and the positive and put them together and be realistic with those outcomes, right? We can't sit here and just be negative about, oh, well, bro, like, that's going to be a bad job. You're not going to like it. It's like, bro, I haven't even worked there yet. How are you going to tell me I'm not going to like it? And at the end of the day, you can't sit here and tell people what they're not going to like. You don't know exactly what they're not or going to like. At the end of the day, you had to have them experience for it on their own. So it's just like, it's almost the same thing even with society itself. Is like we are guided by a sense of thinking that we need to have people tell us what and what not to do. When we are the people ourselves that have to do it on our own to know what we want to do next time. You could tell me whatever it is, and I could take that in consideration if it's advice or however, but I'm still going to want to try it and see how it's going to be an experience for me. Exactly like you said, why would I take away anything if it's a mindset or what other people tell me? The experience that I could give myself. If it's anything, we're talking about going out to a social event. We're talking about trying to get into a relationship, and don't limit yourself that how your experience was bad last time. Like, you can't do that. I don't understand why you have to limit yourself because of how a previous experience was to you. That's not going to make you better as a person. That's not going to make you more loving of a person. That's not going to make you more creative. That's not going to make you more productive. That's not going to make you go anywhere in life if you keep having yourself hold yourself away from being better because that anchor that held you down because of how bad it was last time.
And that's why with number 2, you have to stop it, because you could spot it as much as you want, but if you don't stop what's going on, and because we could acknowledge so many things around us, like everything is like a movie, right? And if we really think about it, we're capturing all these frames and we're seeing so many things, and there's just so much information to grasp with every experience that we overwhelm ourselves, and we get ourselves into thinking that, oh, I don't know if I could do that, I don't know if I can handle that. And it's because you're just a part of the audience, and that doesn't mean that you can't do it. You're just so starstruck by it that you admire this person, and that's why we can't compare ourselves to anybody, because the more that we compare ourselves to people, the more that we set an expectation that is unrealistic, because now we're holding them on a plateau that is far above a plateau that we have yet to reach. And now we're doing that. If we can spot it, acknowledge these things and voice them out, because only talking to yourself in your head won't do anything but be another fleeting thought in your head. So you have to spot it and say it out loud. Stop it, because you don't want this to continue. Because if you want to stop, then you would do everything in your power to change your surroundings, change the people that you associate with, change how you view life, because you don't want to be filled with anxiety. You don't want to be riddled with depression. You don't want to stop life at any point, because God forbid, like, you let an experience traumatize you so much that you just stay in bed all day, every day. You go to work, head down. You don't look up at anybody. Like, how do you expect to engage and experience new relationships? Like, I can say for myself, the other night, I went to a social gathering event. It was an amazing event, social networking. It was great. It was the idea, because there are so many people. I'm in Texas now. I was nervous. I was genuinely nervous.
Yep.
All these people got something going on for themselves. They're a lot older. They have these things that make me feel like, dang, what am I doing with myself? But I had to remind myself, no, I got a podcast. Yep. I'm working right now. I got things going on for myself. And for 25, yep, I got up to here. And now I want to keep going. Now, because I'm not the smartest in the room, I'm aware of that. So let me ask these people what I can do. And
absorb.
My confidence gave me that first step. And then after that, when I tell you I talked to at least 30, 40 people that night in 2 hours, that was better than me not going and wasting my money because I was too scared to try to make a new conversation, try to make a new relationship with people.
Yes, exactly. See, that's the whole point. You just gotta show up for yourself. And sometimes showing up for yourself is going somewhere like a social event and not expecting to do it right away. Like, don't think that you're just going to get right into it and you're going to have a whole bunch of connections and all these people are going to be all over you and be like, oh my God, Tyler, you're the best. I'm like, that would be awesome, but it's not realistic. So it's just a matter of, I'm sure when you got there, you know, you obviously took a visualization of the room and took your time to be like, okay, I'm here right now. Okay, what do I gotta do? Oh, this is a social event. Okay, getting the feel for it and then just slowly adjust yourself to it. It's how you're gonna then make yourself go into doing the thing that will be like kind of scary, because everything that we do that's new to us is gonna be scary. And I just gotta say, like, there's enough people out there that don't believe in you. Don't be another person that don't believe in you. You gotta believe in yourself, bro. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you're listening, whoever is listening, whatever it is that you want to do, go do it right now. But, like, still listen while you do it. Because we got more to say.
And it's like, and it's exactly how Angel says it, because I remember back when we did our first seminar, Angel brought it up, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if there's nothing to pour from, how do you expect to give back? You know, and it starts with love. And people can say, oh, like, why are you so selfish? Well, I have to be selfish. I have to care about myself. Because if I don't, then how can I give you the type of impression that I do love myself, so then you could love yourself more? And that's not saying that everybody I come across is lacking, but it's the idea that I just want to be giving. I want to give back. Because at the end of the day, there is no community without unity. And in order to unify together, we need to give. We need to be able to appreciate what is around us. And using confidence all the time takes away from the true source. And you know what that true source is?
You.
Like,
I was thinking the same thing.
Like, it starts with you, and at the end of the day, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be nervous. And like I was saying in a story, and like that story I said in the last episode, the fat man, you know, he was afraid, he was scared, and it's okay. But that shows you're in a place for growth, because good or bad, who knows? It may be a bad experience the first, second, or third time. There's no 3 strikes are out. You're still alive. And until you face your last breath and you can't breathe anymore and your eyes pulsarize and everything like that, keep going.
Yep.
Hey, Angel beat me in basketball multiple times before. I beat Angel in basketball multiple times.
I didn't beat you. You still got a chance.
Exactly. I still got a chance. That's what matters.
I'm just being humble. Sorry.
You know, I like it because you're sweet. But either way, though, it's the idea that we keep trying and we don't give up. Because, you know, that's more admiring to see somebody who has a tenacious willpower and somebody that's willing to go through adversity, because adversity is what makes the most beautiful things. Because people like Oprah, people like Keanu Reeves, they have gone through so many things through adversity. Like, Oprah wasn't Oprah when she was 25, like I said before.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves wasn't Keanu Reeves before The Matrix. He had other great movies, but we all know him for The Matrix. And now we all know him for John Wick. And he had the hiatus where he wasn't making movies. So now look, because he wasn't nervous, because he still believed in himself, he was like, I believe that I can do this. Let me just come out of my shell, because maybe I've been gone for a while. Maybe I've been gone for too long, and now people forgot who I am.
Yes. See, like, you got to understand, guys, that everything has a starting point. And so that means if there's a starting point, that means things take time. But you need to give time for it to take time. I'm gonna say that one more time. I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. I'm word playing, by the way. Things take time, but you need to give time for it to take time. So you gotta give to yourself. You gotta, if it's a skill that you're trying to build, then you gotta give to yourself first. Be that selfish person, right? You had to pour into your own cup. You had to figure out where's the source coming from so that you can put into your own cup so that you can then give that back. That's the whole thing. So you have to first give yourself that time so that that time that you gave yourself can now take that time to pour into something else that could be a lot more fulfilling.
Yeah, and I love how Angel brings that up because it's exactly like this. When your self-esteem is enriched with love and respect, confidence and charisma comes naturally.
Yeah,
you
it
have
does.
to think about how, you know, you have all these charismatic people, and with charismatic people, you look at them like, oh, like how is it so easy for them to talk? How is it so easy for them to just blend in and like have a conversation with people? And that's because they have an exact understanding of who they are as a person. They have respect for themselves. They love themselves. They're not going to let anybody make them feel like they're less than, because at the end of the day, everything that came before that person became who they are is what molded them into the person that they are today. So regardless of age, there's always a chance for you to grow. There's always a chance for you to reach new heights and do what you want to do. Because who says you can't do what you want to do? Only the people around you, and that means you got to change. You got to change those people around you and change your surroundings. The same, like it's okay if you outgrow somebody. That doesn't mean that somebody is supposed to be in your life. Because Angel was saying something great earlier, and it was about the journey. What was it that you said about the journey?
It was just the fact that a lot of times when we're trying to go into our journey, we think that the people should come along with us, but sometimes they're just a part of our journey and they're not going to be with us on the journey. That's it. That's just simple as it is. Just don't be dwelling on the fact that this person is no longer in your life. Okay, now they have a good memory with you. Embrace it, embody it, know that they were in your life and it was fun. And you was like, those were good times. But you know what? I'm on a different time now. I'm on a time zone, which means now, not the past, not the future, because that wasn't even created, but now is the time that I'm on. I'm not on the past anymore. So that's what you got to tell yourself. Like, just stop holding yourself back because of the people that are around you.
And it's also like, it's funny how all these things coincide together, because when we prioritize our overall sense of self, things won't be like overwhelming. You got to think about it, right? So like if you're not used to being in social gatherings, and let's say you're introverted at heart, now you may prefer to be inside and not be around so many people. So even despite being introverted, with the self-love, with the respect, being in a situation where you're not comfortable most of the time won't be as overwhelming. You'll just guide yourself through and be like, everything's okay. Because it's not like I'm gonna die. I don't have a gun to my head. It's not like, I mean, hey, nobody knows me here. So it's not like I could think about, oh, these people hate me. Oh, these people think I'm ugly. Like, why even think of that? You don't got to talk down on yourself and talk bad as if like you're the worst person, because now you're setting up this persona. You're setting up this expectation and perception that you're these things. And now when you look at people, the only thing that you see in their eyes is what you believe that they see. And now you convince yourself of something that's not actually true. So now this dream, this nightmare that you think that's in front of you is not really there. It's just fear, and fear is blinding, just like blinding lights the weekend. So it like when you're in front of those lights, walk away, rub your eyes a little bit, and clear your mind of what's actually in front of you, and appreciate that it's not these horrible things that we think that is our doom. You know, with all this chaos and destruction that could happen in our minds and could happen in front of us, how do we manage that? You don't want to be messy. You don't want to have a messy mind. So that's why we got to clear those thoughts out so we could actually enjoy and be in the experience. Because when we're messy, like having a messy room, we don't know what we want to do. We don't know like where to start. But if we're confident, we know that eventually it'll get done and something will be complete and will be clean. And so that way we could think clearly. So just start somewhere. You're confident with that, and then everything is done, and look, boom, now you got nothing to worry about. So now look at how all that worry and all that doubt went away and vanquished. And now look at how relieved you feel. And now you question yourself, like, why was I even upset? Why was I even beating myself up in the first place? Like, yeah, exactly. I was tripping. Like, why even do that to yourself?
Exactly. And when you trip, you fall, and you fall face plant on your face, and then you're like, oh my God, why? And that's why you got to just be mindful and grateful for the things that you've been doing that is good. Like, a lot of times we want to be going forward in life and never look back in the past. But sometimes you got to look in the past and be like, oh, wow, look how far I came, though. Like, I'm so I'm tripping over the fact of like how bad I'm doing right now, but who's to say that this is gonna be easy? It's not gonna be easy. You just gotta keep being consistent. Who cares about what people say? You are waking up every day and doing things like you're on a mission. Whatever it is that you want to do, it don't matter what it is, that you want to do it. And you got to be confident that you want to do that for yourself and not because anyone else wants you to do it at the end of the day. So just be mindful of yourself, and I'll encourage everyone that if you want to build your confidence, if you want to learn how to be a better cook, then go cook right now. Go cook something. Go cook something new. Oh, you want to be good at talking to people and be more charismatic? All right, go to a social event. It don't matter the social event. And then when you go to that social event, what are you gonna do? Oh, yep, you're gonna go talk to somebody. It don't matter who it is. Just make a quick conversation. You don't have to stay in that conversation. Just make a quick, oh, I like your shoes. You could compliment them, or you could be like, oh, it's a nice weather outside. Be observative. Like, don't just think that you had to make a conversation and stay in that conversation. You can make conversation and walk away. It's just a point that you can always find a way to get better at something. And when you get better at that, that's proof. And now you're gonna be more confident. I promise you.
And
So
look, I love how much we've been saying, and I'm sure that you guys could agree with a lot of our things. And if you don't, then leave a comment, or also talk about an experience that doesn't go with these statements. And at the end of the day, it's the most important thing that you tried. And look, just to wrap it up, I'm gonna say these 4 things: set realistic goals for yourself, know when to say no, do things that you're good at, and most of all, face your fears. Like Angel was saying, face your fears. Just step up to the plate and try and do it. Like,
and
you don't have to be afraid.
Yes, and to add to that, stop people pleasing. Nah, we don't need that. We don't need to please anybody. We try to please ourselves, and the people that appreciate us is gonna be pleased enough that you did it for yourself. So we appreciate you guys. We really strongly hope you got something out of this. Remember to follow us on all platforms. If it's a podcast platform that you're on the Rally Cry podcast, the rallycry.podcast on Instagram. And I just want to let you guys know we love you. And until next time, y'all be easy.
Y'all be breezy.
Peace.